So someone told me about this short little woman that had a lot of powerful ideas. And I thought, okay, I meet people with a lot of powerful ideas, and usually I'm not impressed. But Magda was impressive. Oh my goodness. She did have ideas that nobody else had.
Janet Gonzalez Mena, she introduced me to Magda. I think what Magda has created is a genius, beautiful, honorable, true, authentic infant, competent child approach to rearing babies, to working with babies, to working with families, to supporting parents in doing the very best for their children.
Coming to the United States gave my mother the opportunity to expand her passion for infants. She formulated simple but powerful ideas for parenting and caregiving from a foundation of respect, empathy, understanding, and extensive work with infants.
Magda was very clear that she felt Rye was its own culture and that you should always present it as such, and you should not present it to be something that it wasn't, and that a parent was either comfortable with the culture of Rye or they were not.
If one thinks about it, it can be scary, because if you allow a child to grow authentic, you have to believe in authenticity and you have to work on your own authenticity.
I think Magda has a lot to offer, and I think that her ideas are good, they're valid, and they're doable. They're not ideas that are saying go out and buy $50,000 worth of equipment and do it this way. It's not that kind of thing at all. It's really basic things that you can actually do that are people related, not necessarily product related.
If you go back 20 years, only Rye associates were talking to children and interacting with them in a respectful manner. I think now no one would present anything else. They don't always attribute it to Rye, which is unfortunate, but it has infiltrated the DNA, if you will, of infant-toddler care.
Seem to keep running into Magda at conferences. That's where we always meet each other, in parking lots. And one of the last parking lots I met her in, I was delighted to see her, as I always am, and I said to her rather spontaneously, "Magda, you're who I want to be when I grow up." And she was a little startled by my saying so. If you are an infant educator, your responsibilities are to these precious children, and this is absolutely the way to see that it happens.
It is quite evident to me that Rye is an incredibly useful framework, and that your culture can work within that framework. But I believe that it's important in this era where it's going to be more and more unusual for a child to be cared for by one person in infancy and toddlerhood, that it's really important to have a theoretical framework that everybody that interacts with the child uses.
How can anybody who is willing to take the responsibility for other people's children do it as an expert? And it has to be, if it's real people, even if they are 3 months old, a caring person, because this is about emotion, caring as an ethic. And Magda invented a superb way to do it, and I am so grateful to be part of it.
The one thing I truly believe, that while different methods may be good for different people, I could not imagine that what we tell people could ever harm. And there are many other approaches that could be harmful. I think respecting a child, I cannot imagine. Can you?
No one who thinks about teaching people to work with infants in a good way, in a developmentally appropriate way, does not find themselves pulling from threads of rye, whether they attribute it to rye or not. I want to congratulate the Rye Associates for doing a wonderful job of keeping rye alive and keeping it growing, because that's what's really important. You're doing the work locally, you're doing the work nationally, you're doing the work internationally.
Whenever I have my teacher's training in China or in anywhere, I would definitely mention her name. And she is the person that changed my whole life.
I wish you a very happy birthday and many, many more, because this is an extremely valuable process as part of our society, and in trying to ensure that we are raising children who have the capacity to care for others, because they'd better.